All right. So, how's everybody doing tonight? You're probably wondering why I got Xbox Reset up here. Alright. Well, basically, the reason why I got that up here is because that's basically what's going around now about the Xbox Reset. Now, basically, what she's saying is it's basically her way of taking and beginning to do a cleanup, so to speak. What that means is she's going to take and survey the damage, everything that was done, things that are going to need to be cleaned up, straightened up, taking care of studios, and trying to just do a complete wipe and make sure that now it's business. So now it's straightening everything out and doing what is going to be productive for Xbox. This is going to be what has to happen in order to bring Xbox back to itself. This is going to be the business end of it where they're going to do the things that are going to make it work. Because this is where all the teams are going to begin to get together and start really discussing things, really like planning things and making sure that things are going to start getting done to quality. They're going to get right down to brass tacks. It's going to be about business. It's going to be about what's best for Xbox, the best games. It's going to be what's best for the brand, what's best for the consoles that are coming, and what else is coming from the showcase and games to come in the future. Not only that, she's going to have to really start to assess and make sure that everybody is getting on the same page, to make sure that this is about really getting Xbox back to Xbox where it needs to be. You know, this is time for seriousness to bring players back, bring people, bring the players, you know, us gamers. It's to get us passionate again. They want to bring that brand that is going to make us want to play the games again. So that's what all these teams are going to do, is they're going to get together and they're going to look into all these studios. They're going to start to fix things up, straighten things out. And they're really going to take the necessary steps and time that they're going to have to straighten that all out to do what's best for business. So that's what this reset is all about. This is what Xbox Reset means. Basically, to Asha Sharma, and this is what it means to the entire team. This is going to be the time where the studios are going to look over everything and see where all the games that weren't selling, everything that basically did not bring them the revenue, basically the games that were so rough and didn't get the right kind of time, the right kind of polish, the right kind of attention, the right kind of attraction that Xbox was looking for. So they're going to go and they're going to look at that and figure out, okay, is this going to be best for this or that? They're going to really take it seriously. because now they have to. Because if they want to bring us back to this brand, if they want to save Xbox, this is the time for them to do it. So that's why the reset is going to take place. Now, as she said too, it's going to be rough. It's going to get bumpy. You're going to have turbulence. You're going to have a lot of turbulence, and you're going to have a lot of a crazy roller coaster while doing this. And, of course you're going to, because, it's a lot of stuff that she has to go and do, but it's what's best for business. It's the decisions that needed to be made and needs to get done so the brand can actually get saved again. So I'm all for it, and I will be paying attention each and every day, each and every moment, because I believe that it can be done. I was impressed that she lowered Game Pass within her first 100 days. Just within her first 100 days, she did so much within her first 100 days that most CEOs didn't even accomplish that. Most CEOs with their first 100 days, I've never seen them accomplish as much as she did. So, if she keeps going the way she's going with all this, then, it's heading in the right direction. And she pretty much knows exactly where to take this. And she has Matt Booty, that's also working with her, along with her team and people on her team that are behind her on this, that also see it from her view. Her team also is looking at it and also helping her to look into stuff, to see what actually needs done as well. So, she's really, she's really doing it, and I'm glad that things are actually getting done. This time it's not just words. Actions are getting put behind the words for a change. So, you might not have things at the greatest right now. Sure, you have some games that are, not there. You may have one of the Halos that went over to PlayStation. That's kind of disappointing. But the thing of it is look at what we gained. Alright, we got Gears E-Day that is an exclusive over on Xbox. You got Clockwork Revolution. Now look how long Clockwork Revolution, you didn't hear nothing about that for how long. And then all of a sudden this showcase comes around and you hear about Clockwork Revolution. But not just in any way, shape, or form. You hear about it becoming an Xbox exclusive. Now that should be right there exciting in itself. Because not only are you getting that game, but you're getting it being exclusive to the Xbox only. So there you go. That's exciting right there. Then you got Marvel's Wolverine. You have Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4 that's coming out. You have Grand Theft Auto 6 being brought out by Rockstar. Sure, that's going, to PlayStation. But people are going to be able to access that even through the Xbox. Then on the 23rd. Now, there's other games too. Like, there's so many games this year and next year that you have a lot to be excited for. You know, news on Fable now. We have news on Fable as a game, as it being released. Yeah, sure, next year. But you know what? It's giving it a little more room. At least it's giving it a little more time to get polished. I mean, everybody, look. I mean, you're getting a little more time for a game to get polished before they give it to us. That you should be glad about. That these studios are taking it to a serious thing here and wanting to make sure that these games are going to get done and done right. Instead of these games being half-baked or not even done right. You see these studios being more serious about these games now. Ever since Asher Sharma's been in place, things are getting taken to a serious level. You see the shift in attitude. You see the shift in how these devs are starting to do things. Giving a little more breathing room to games. Giving a little more cushion of space for some of it. When before they would just cram them together and wouldn't care, right? Now, I'm not knocking on Phil Spencer, okay? Yeah, that man had knowledge. He had knowledge when he was sitting in that seat there at Xbox. But also, too, you had games that were just getting tossed out the door, and not all of them were polished to 100%. And you had games that... Sorry about that. And you had games that were getting put out there that weren't fully done. Or you had like add-ons or whatever, DLCs to these games, and the DLCs weren't even the greatest. You ended up having stuff to these games that when you tried to play them, you had issues with them. You know, you had trouble with them. You couldn't play them because they had so many problems with them. I'm starting to notice a difference where now they're polishing them. Now they're taking more time to get these right. And now she's trying to find a way, not so much to use AI as, you know, a way to have people lose their jobs, but she's trying to use AI as a way to polish games up better. Because she wants to use it to polish the games and make them better and operate better. You know, she wants to use AI in a way just to make those work better, you know, and not for the use of what other people are thinking, you know, to take a person's job. That's not what that's about. That's not the reason why she's taking and wanting to use AI. That's what she's wanting to do. She's just wanting to use it for the world building and all that. She's not wanting to use it any further than that. I'll be right back, folks. What? I'm in the middle of a show, dear. I'm in the middle of a show. I'm doing a show. I'm in the middle of my show, dear. I'm doing my show right now. Seriously, I'm doing my show. You always got to catch me right at the worst time. Right in the middle of my show, trying to do it while I'm awake enough, and I get disrupted. Alright? Can't even hear you. There ain't any more ramens left, Stace. There's no more ramens. We're out. We're out, and I'm in the middle of a show. So you're going to have to come down here and figure out what you want. I'm in the middle of a talk show trying to do my show right now. It's not going to help me get viewers, Annie. Keeps getting disrupted. I'm telling you, we're out of noodles. Sorry about that, folks. I was trying to make my girl something or noodles, but we ended up running out of noodles, so I had to tell her we had no noodles left. But anyway, like I said, I ended up watching an interview of Asha Sharma, and I guess this was a different talk show or something she went on, and she spoke about how she wanted to use AI, but not in the way that most people are thinking. She wants to use AI pretty much just to help the devs and to use it to help with the world building, but she doesn't want to use it in a way for taking people's jobs, and she doesn't want to use it in that way, shape, or form. She just wants to use it to make the game creation process a lot easier and make it easier while using the graphic engines that they currently use in order to make the games. So that's pretty much what her vision is with the whole AI thing. Because everybody's thinking, no, she wants to, AI is going to take over Xbox, it's going to control Xbox. No, according to what she said, and this was from her in the interview, was no, I want to use AI, but I don't want to use it in a way that, everybody thinks that we're going to use it to take over, systems and stuff. No, that's not what her plan is. I think in a way that would be great because maybe you would get better worlds. You might get better performance in your games. You might end up getting a better way that games would run. I think you would improve worlds and make it easier. And I think about the advancements in the world if we would have some assistance from AI in that way, shape, or form. That would help. if it's being used that way. That is. So, but those are just a few things how I'm looking at this whole reset. Um, and the whole reset thing, it's not really bothering me because all she's trying to do is she's trying to get this train put back on the tracks. She's trying to get this company back to where it needs to be, where games are getting done the right way, they're getting polished correctly, everybody's on the same page. Game production goes back to the way it used to be, where you had a lot of gamers that were happy. You had games getting pumped out the way that they needed to be. The release cadence was good. You had studios that were happy to create games for the gamers. Like, there was a point in time that I can remember where Xbox was producing so many games constantly. And I believe that it can get back there again. And, as long as everybody gets on the same page again, I think it can happen. And I think that Asha Sharma might end up being able to put this company in the right direction. Because if you look at the work she's done on Instacart, of getting that out there, launching that, Meta, her experience over there. So she has experience as a CEO, as being a boss. She has experience with launching things. She even said her favorite game was Halo. It was the first game she actually played, which is interesting because she's never been a gamer. If you notice this woman right behind me eating Fruity Pebbles, this is my fiance right here in the back. She claims she's not a gamer, but she'll sit on the couch shooting pool all day. And she claims she's not a gamer, but I always tease her because I always tell her she's a mobile gamer. Now, she's not the console gamer like I am. She's not the one that'll put a controller in her hand and a headset on her head, kind of like I am right here, right now. But the thing of it is, as long as Asha Sharma gets all of the teams on board and they really take all the assessments seriously, they look into the financials, they straighten the financials out, they see why all these games have gone wrong, why they're not selling, and as long as everything gets implemented just the way that it needs to, for everything to get straightened out again, I believe that it's not impossible for Xbox to come back to the original Xbox, as long as the right decisions and the correct decisions are made. And I think Asha Sharma's got the gall to make the right decision. She's got the intestinal fortitude to stand up and really make those tough decisions whenever she has to. Because if she didn't, she would have never been able to make Instacart as popular as Instacart is. And Meta, you hear about Meta constantly because that's a part of Facebook. And the fact that she helped to launch that, man, and the thing of it is, it's amazing. So the fact that she could do that with just two things and then come over to Xbox in 3 years over there, not doing anything, and then boom, she gets into a CEO spot, and within her first 100 days, she lowers a Game Pass that fast. She ends up pulling her very first showcase successfully, not even knowing what the showcase was really all about. But she did. Like, she acted as though she was born to do it. But the thing of it is, she's a businesswoman. So she knows, business. And the thing of it is, that's what makes her her. Because she knows how to handle business. So it's not so much her having to be a gamer or anything. It's just she knows business, and that's why they chose her. Because they wanted someone that could stand up and handle business whenever it needed to be done. So I think that's why they chose her and why they brought her over. Because of the way that she could stand up and handle business. That's why they made that move. But now, over the next few months, let alone going into next year, that's when that's when you're going to start seeing the real legitimate changes as they continue to go forward. Now we have to pay attention, because we're going into the second half of the year. And as we go to the second half of the year, following that out until December, going into next January or so, that's when you're going to start seeing her really getting down to brass tacks. And her showing her major CEO side. But you know what? As long as I have followed Xbox, been a gamer on Xbox, I haven't been disappointed. Because I look at this also from an optimistic standpoint. That as long as there is good games that play well, run well, and they're not glitchy and they're not terrible, as long as I can fire my console up, get on the game, and have enjoyment out of it, and even play the games and record videos and post them up on this channel for all of you, and bring enjoyment for all of us, that's what matters to me. That's all that matters to me. Because the business side of it, that's up to Matt Booty, that's up to Asha Sharma, that's up to their teams to handle that. All I gotta handle is the entertainment I bring to this channel. Because remember, I'm just like you guys. I have a headset, I have a mic, and I have a channel. But I just bring entertainment because this is what I love. I love to sit here and talk about how passionate I am for this business. For these games that get brought out, these worlds that get made, the stories that are told in these games. Like today, I was at the dentist with my son, and I started listening to the God of War theme song. Like the Valhalla, I don't know if it's like the newest Valhalla like theme song. I don't know if you guys have seen that, where there's this guy and this woman that starts singing. It's like the Viking song, or I don't know really what it is, but I turned it on today on my headset and I started listening to it. And the beats in it, the rhythm that was in it, it just like, it intrigued me, and it was awesome to hear. Like, it was a story being told through song. And that's what's awesome too, is when you listen to certain music and have music being told to you, a music telling a story to you when you're listening to a song like that, is even cooler. When you can turn on a song like that and hear the lyrics and it starts to bring out the story. Then you're listening to it and you stand still for a moment just to listen. To just hear the story. And you're stunned, but you're stunned in amazement because you're so so into it, and your brain is just absorbing it all. So that's what is so awesome, that I think that when we're listening to our favorite music, whether we're playing our favorite games, just everything that we get into that's entertainment wise, that's what's awesome. And when we play these certain games and they bring out like second parts or third parts to it, and when we see that, we're like, oh my goodness, they're bringing out another part to this. I wonder how the story's going to end up. Because you want to know, since you played the first game, you're like, oh, I gotta know what's going on in this one. Because you're like, oh, jeez, it's driving me nuts. They ended the first game on a cliffhanger. I don't know. I want to know what's happening next in this other one. And that's what drives you nuts. Because you got to get that other game because you want to continue from the first one. And it gets you like insane in the head. Like today too, I think it was either today or the other day. No, it was today, before I left. Because me and my son, we were chilling in the living room, and I seen James Bond 007 2 from across my Facebook. I was like, oh shoot. I'm like, seriously, they're going to make a part 2. I'm like, oh my goodness, I wonder how they're going to continue the story. So I shared it, and I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, here's the thing. You never know how they're going to continue the story. Because the thing is, when a story has not been fully written yet, the story could go any way, period. It can go any direction it wants, or any direction that the writer decides to take it in. So that's what's interesting about when they bring out other parts to a game. And if the story is still getting worked on, it's nice to be able to sit and have a debate and discuss it, because everybody has a different view. Nobody's opinion's going to be the same. Nobody's view is going to be the same. Everybody's going to have a different idea. And that's what I like about having game discussions with people, because everyone has their own idea of what could possibly happen. So, that's why I like talking games with people. So I'm like, hey, what do you think here? What do you think they're going to do with this story? So I want to hear from you guys. What do you guys think that they're going to do with 007 Part 2? You know, which way do you think they'll take this story? You know, what direction do you think they're going to go? Because to me, it's hard to say. And with the story not being written yet, we have no idea. They could surprise us. And if they really want to, they can surprise us, and they can throw a whopper right at us. You know, and just do whatever they want. I mean, they could throw a complete 360 into it. And do it entirely in a way that we would never think. Because remember, this is a younger James Bond. So this ain't no, like, older James Bond. You're talking about a younger James Bond. This was from when he was getting started. So you never know. And what I keep hearing about Division 3 is I keep hearing that Division 3 is drawing closer. But you know what also makes me want to pull the rest of the hair out of my head? No release date yet. Which that's another thing that's driving me nuts. I wish there was a release date. Ubisoft, I wish you would say a release date. I mean, I know they got to take their time. They got to get the polishing right. They got to get everything straightened out. I understand that. But you know, as a Division 2 nut, as a guy that loves the Division games, you know, I'm hoping soon we get a release date. Because I've been loving the story so much, I find myself at times going back there because it's been a game that I have followed for so long. So, you know, it's a game that I find myself going back to off and on, and it's a game that I will not stop playing. It's a game that I will try to find myself getting back to here and there. Because truthfully, I can't see myself not playing it. So, but I also want to be a little bit on the for real side here with all of you as well. Now, when I started this channel, hold on. Sorry about that. I was trying to get my stream shared over to Facebook, and then it brought up a song that I kind of didn't want it to bring up, and I was trying to get it off my screen. But anyway, I want to get real with y'all for a second here. When I started this channel way back in 2022, I had no idea about where I was going to go with it, what I was going to do with it. I had no decisions of what I would do, how I would utilize this channel. I never thought about becoming a gaming YouTuber. I used to doubt myself a bunch. I used to say, Daniel, you're never going to do this. You know, aka alias Top Gamer Pro 2025. But I said to myself, I'm like, I don't know if you got this. You know, off and on, I would come on. I would do little videos, little shorts here and there. But those are just little things throughout from like the year 2022 and forward. And later on, as those years continued to move forward, I was taking jobs where I could get them: construction work, landscaping work. I used to hang drywall, pull trees over. I was a bricklayer. I also poured foundations. I helped out my neighbor that was near my grandma's. I helped him to pour a foundation for a basement for a house that he was actually selling. That was fun. I enjoyed that. What was so nice was he gave me some pizza to take home from my family. So that was fun, when I did that. I did that, and then I was a landscaper for 2.5 years. I used to go around doing jobs, laying brick down for older veterans that could not get out on their own properties and do stuff for themselves. So I used to go around with my cousin Lisa's boyfriend, and we used to go help these people. I used to make $50 to $100 a job. It was nice work. It toned me up, it built muscle. I promised myself I wouldn't. I was hoping I ain't trying shit, dude. I ain't trying shit. And then it was 2013. My back got worse. I couldn't work anymore. I also worked at McDonald's as a fry cook. Almost 2 years. There was 1 year I went in the hospital 8 times to try to figure out what was going on with me. It took 2 years. They finally found it with an MRI. My cervical spine had arthritis on it. It was right on the nerve. Right on my nerves. And it was pinching on my spinal cord. And that was the scariest moment. Because there was one night I laid on my bed, I couldn't even move. Couldn't get out of bed. So with all the things I went through, even it going to my lower lumbar, that's why I do this for a living. But I do this for a living because I love games. I love playing them. I love enjoying the stories. I love doing this for a living because I believe that Xbox can go back to where it used to be. But give Asher Sharma at least a chance. Because everybody deserves to prove themselves. I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm this corporate shill. I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm this corporate suck up, because I'm not. I am just a person that sees this individual for what they are, is just a person that is trying to do something to better a brand and trying to bring it back to where it needs to be. for gamers like myself and for all of you. And this channel that I do, I'm trying my absolute best to bring you content, to bring you shorts, to look out for stuff. I'm not, I'm new to all this, like thumbnails and doing all this. So I could use help along the way. I mean, if you guys got tips or advice you can lend me, hey, feel free to do that. Leave comments for me or whatever. Help me along the way because this is all still new to me. But give them a chance. Because I have a feeling that she can do this as long as she makes the decisions not at a haste, but she makes the decisive calls and makes them at the right moment, is what I'm basically trying to say. Because there's the right time to make a call, there's the right time to decide for things, and there's a right time to decide what's going to be best for the business and for the games. But it seems like she basically is understanding what we want as gamers, and it really does seem like she is understanding what our requests basically are. Now we just have to see what's going to happen over the next few months, going into the second part of this year. And we just have to wait and see what occurs. After I found out that my body was just, my back was shot, I turned to this and decided to do this because I'm passionate about video games. I'm passionate about gaming. This hobby for me is not just a hobby, but it's something that I've loved my whole life. I've been a gamer for 40 years. 40 to 41 freaking years. And still to this day, I have followed it like nothing. I still sit here. I tell people every day, I'm like the adult version of a kid. That's what I say to all my friends, my family. I'm like, and they're like, oh, you're playing video games at 41. I'm like, heck yeah. I'm the adult version of a child. Why not? I don't care. Age is just a number. Age is just a number to me, dude. If I got favorite games out there that I'm going to play, I'm going to sit there and play them. Heck yeah, why not? I'll be enjoying video games just as much as the next person. So. But it's nice to have a place to come to. To share my passion about them. I'm looking forward to everything that is going to be transpiring. I really am at this point. I'm excited for changes. I'm excited for more game releases. I can't even believe that this country, the United States, is celebrating 250 years. That's hard to believe. But I think that about covers that topic of Xbox. Um, but I am going to keep working hard. I will keep putting those shorts up when I get a chance. I will be still doing one show on Thursdays because I usually watch X and C with Mag and Colt on Mondays. And I usually tune in to Mag whenever he does his stuff. And that's usually Friday night gaming and Tuesday nights when he does a Magcast. Which, in case you tune in, bro, just giving you a shout out through the channel, bro. But yeah, it was crazy chaos, and it still is on the internet because we all know that when things go on the internet, they always blow up and become chaotic. But continue with the support. It means a lot. You guys helping me out by sharing, liking, subscribing is just a choice. If you like these discussions on Thursday nights, you can feel free to subscribe. Check out my shorts on different things that I end up coming across whenever I scroll through Facebook or check out things on social media just to try to keep up with what's coming out. I try to stay, I try to pay attention on other things and other games that end up showing up out there because we all know that constantly there's always something coming out. There's always something showing up, and we always got a game that will always end up showing up somehow or another. But I will be working hard to try and keep building this channel up. So, eventually I am going to be looking into getting a better tripod to be able to hold on to my phone better, to try to get a little bit better of a recording. Like I said, I am trying to reach the 50,000 level of subscribers because once I reach that level, I can actually do live when I'm doing my gaming, and that'll help a little bit better than just constantly recording videos to post them up. Because that would make it easier, because then you guys wouldn't have to wait on videos. You guys would be able to just enjoy videos right there as they're being done. That's the perk to doing them live, is you guys would be able to see me play the games live through my phone. Or through whatever device I have that has YouTube. You guys would be able to see those live, and it would just be a live thing, instead of you guys having to go without that. Eventually, my plan is to also do a better camera and eventually do better lighting. But like I said, once I start building this channel up, things will come. But that's basically what I'm trying to do to build things up. You can always drop your opinions in the comment section, or even in the chat, to let me know, what games you're enjoying. Let me know what things you're getting into as far as games, and what you're excited for. What your thoughts and opinions are on the whole Xbox reset. I don't mind having open discussions with people. I mean, I love to hear other people's opinions and stuff like that from the other side, because I believe that all of us, have different outlooks, on it. And everybody looks at it in a different way because none of us look at it the same. But I do know that one thing is we can all agree that a lot of stuff that is messed up, it does need change. Like we need to have studios working better. We need to have games improved much better than they've been. We need these studios to start producing better games, more polished games. Um, they need to take a look eternally and see why their games have not been to the best standards. Um, I mean, there's a lot of things that I can sit here and say, or sit here and any of us can really say that needs to be done. Because even Asha Sharma said it best herself, that there's a lot of stuff going forward that they have to really work on and to really look into. And most of all, she said a really key phrase: it's going to take time. That's the most crucial thing. Now, I know us gamers, or I should say, I'm going to speak for myself because I don't put words in other people's mouths. I'm not like that. But basically, I know me as a gamer, I'm not as patient. Alright, I can honestly sit here and say I'm not that patient. But the thing is, I can exercise patience. Because I understand that in order to look into everything she has to look into, it's going to take time. Because there's no telling how much things that she's actually going to have to do. Her, Matt Booty, the studios, just everything in general that they have to break down and look into. It is going to be crazy, but not impossible. Because like Matt Booty even said too, that Asha Sharma wants to make the decisions the right way. Not the swift way, the right way. And that's what I liked about his response. And Asha Sharma's response. Because his response was her response. Swiftly. Or not swiftly, but smart. So she's going to do it, but she's not going to make this like hasty decision on things. She's going to take the time to decide and make decisions decisively. So that right there just shows she's not your average CEO. She's not your like regular type of boss that you see. So, but most of all, we should be enjoying these games because that's going to show them too that us enjoying the games that we're given, the advantages that we have because of the fact of Game Pass being lowered, all the things that they've done, now it's time to show appreciation for it by gaming and firing our Xboxes up. I mean, I'm happy I got a green emblem when I fire my Xbox up. Who in this audience right now is happy that there's a green emblem instead of that gray, boring, depressing emblem? I know I'm happy about it. I'm happy about the games that were offered, that were put there. I'm not going to sit here at the end of the day and be depressed just because of the fact of, I didn't get what everyone else got. I'm happy I got games. Woohoo! Yeah, I'm excited. Because a gamer is a gamer. And a gamer, if you think about it, a gamer, what's a gamer? A person that enjoys games of any type. That's what being a gamer is. Since when did people get so picky over a game, just like getting picky over food? I'm sorry, but why are we picky over games, or why are we picky over certain things like games like this? That's just the same as getting picky over, not liking certain foods. I mean, I can understand in a little bit of a way. Or the same as not liking, maybe you don't like a certain movie or whatever. I can understand that. I mean, everybody is entitled to their own opinion. I ain't going to sit here and I ain't going to judge you. I don't judge anybody. That's not my job to sit here and judge you. You have your own personal preference. There's things you like, there's things I like. When we're all gamers, and I think that's where we can all agree, is we're all gamers and we all enjoy this hobby. In our own way, we all enjoy this hobby of what we play, what we interact with, the games that are out there. Most of all, it's the fun we have when we play. It's the enjoyment we get from being a part of the stories that matters the most. Am I wrong? I mean, you could come in my chat right now and tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong about the fact that as long as we're getting enjoyment out of whatever games we fire up on our consoles, should that matter more than certain particular things? Should that matter more? It should. Because here's another thing that really grinds my gears. Alright? In this world today, people overanalyze things. People overthink things. We tend to overthink. And when we overthink, we destroy ourselves. Oh, too much we destroy ourselves because we overthink things too much to a point that we make ourselves sick. We make ourselves mentally sick because we overanalyze something to a point that it drives us crazy and then we get sick. And for what? Because of a video game that just gets you so obsessed to a point that you make yourself sick over it because it drives you that nuts? So what? A company goes and just, it irritates you enough, but you're going to make yourself sick over that. Or a relationship. Now, I understand relationships, and hey, they come and go. But you can't stop living. You can't stop not going. Because life always brings you something enjoyable. And the thing of it is, whenever I started this channel, like I said at first, it wasn't something that would be enjoyable for me. But when I basically had my injury, YouTube is the reason why today that I'm having something I can do on a professional level, but also too something I can do that I'm passionate about, that I enjoy, and somewhere I can come and talk about the most passionate hobby that I have ever had in my life, and that's being a gamer, a top pro gamer. Of 41 to almost 42 years of being a top gamer. Best thing I ever done. And to have an audience like you that has supported this channel, it's been there through my ups and downs with me, it's understood, when things are rough, means a lot. I really do think, and now that Xbox has pushed that reset button, I really do think that now is going to become the moment of truth. And it's going to end up being the time where we really start to see if this can be done in the right way. I am holding on, and I will still continue to fire my Xbox up. I'm still going to continue to be a gamer. I'm not changing at all. So I want to know, from my audience, are you with me? Or are you not? Do you believe that Asher Sharma, Matt Booty, can save Xbox and straighten this mess out to get us players to have Xbox back. Do you really think that this reset is going to be the saving grace that Xbox needs? Because I want to know. Because given Asha Sharma's professionalism, her success rate, everything she's done so far within just 100 days since she's been there, I want to know from all of you and all of my viewers, do you guys think Asha Sharma can take this company to a brand new level, but save what is there and bring Xbox back and make us believe in Xbox and that it can actually kick PlayStation's rear end? Because truthfully, as we enter the second year of 2026, come July, as we get prepared for the second year, or not the second year, but the second part of this year, as more games start to get released, as we're close to June 21st, I still believe June 21st is the release date for Trailer 3 for GTA 6. And for us to know for those pre-orders. I am still holding on to that date, everyone. I am not letting go that that's the date for Trailer 3 for Grand Theft Auto 6. But I believe that Xbox can return to Xbox. The fact that they made a translucid Xbox, a see-through Xbox, gave away a portion of them, showed an excellent showcase, and all of that within her first 100 days as CEO, and now she's pushing the reset button. Who's with me in believing and who is going to go on this ride with me so we can build this channel and take it to new heights? Because I love doing this. Gaming to me is awesome. It's what I live for. And I also want to know from you guys too. You know, if there's video games you like if you like any of these games I play, like 2K26, 2K25, Division 2, Grand Theft Auto 5 Online, Watch Dogs 2, Watch Dogs Legion, let me know. Now tell me in the comments section if any of that is like your favorite games or games that you like seeing from me. It helps me. When you give me input on the games that I have, when you're telling me stuff like that, it helps me to decide what I'm going to do or put on the channel for all of you, because I want to give you like awesome things that you guys can enjoy and awesome games you can enjoy on the channel. Because I don't want to make things boring for all of you. I want you guys to have awesome things to watch, to enjoy when I'm busy and doing other things. I want to put awesome stuff on the channel so that way you guys have entertainment and all that, because I know sometimes life can tend to get us busy We could tend to be busy a little bit. So, but yeah, like I said, I'm not losing faith that things can turn around and can change within the industry and within Xbox especially. But yeah, it's the time. It's the time that it's going to take to really totally see the change. Because it's not going to be this like overnight radical change. It's not going to be this 24-hour radical change that you're going to see. Within this business or within this whole thing here. So you're not going to see this like miraculous all of a sudden Xbox switching and changing right away. Now you'll see it change, but it's going to be implemented slowly. You know. Now come next year is really when you'll see the major results of it. So that's in my opinion when you'll start seeing the bigger results of this. Because that's when I see it really happening. Yeah. Because that's basically what they said would be the projected year is heading toward next year to see real major results. So I'm trying to think if there was anything else that I wanted to cover. Basically, I wanted to mainly cover what I just said, which was the way that Asha Sharma was, wanting to hit the reset button. That was pretty much it as far as that is concerned. I don't think there was much else. And I don't think that we really have to be that startled about the layoffs because I don't think those layoffs are going to really be something that'll majorly affect us all. So I don't think that's something that you should really get too worked up about because I don't see that being a factor in anything at this point. Yeah, you're going to see some layoffs because, like she also said, around the industry, everybody is in a struggle. So it's not just Xbox, it's also Sony that's been in a struggle. I'm sure Nintendo's been in a struggle of their own, a battle of their own. Because it's an industry that is rough for getting a lot of money to be able to get this hardware, to be able to, or getting the chipsets and the hard drives to build this hardware. So you figure how much they have to spend. I mean, sure, they sit around this boardroom and stuff like that and decide, okay, this is how much we're going to allot. This is how much we're going to spend on this hardware and all that. This is what we're allotting to you for that amount. And then if they wind up short, and then they want to make, like Xbox wants to make this Helix. Oh, and here we go, getting into the Helix. I didn't think I was going to have a talk about the Helix tonight. Uh, Here's my take. Alright, here's my take on the Helix. Yes, it'll be nice for the Helix. But, yeah, it can play PC games, Xbox games, you know, your library, your big expansive library. But here's my opinion. What in the world, or I should say, why in the world are you doing that when, think about this. They wanted to put Steam on this, right? That's what I heard. Yeah, you want to play PC games on an Xbox, but why would you want to do that when most people can play those on a PC? Right? And then you got Valve, who is going to release a Steam machine. Anybody want to raise your hand and say what a Steam machine is? A Steam machine is basically a PC. Because what's inside of it? Steam. To where you can access PC games. So why would you want to have two systems with both of the same capability? But see, here's where you're going to be plumb out of luck. What's going to happen if Helix and Steam Machine are both expensive? You're going to know who's going to be able to afford that right away. Because the people that are going to afford the Steam Machine and the people that are going to afford the Xbox Helix are going to be the people that have reserved or saved their money up. Those are the people that are going to be able to buy the Helix or buy the Steam Machine. But then when you think about it, if somebody buys people buy the Steam Machine or whatever, or people buy the Helix, and you gotta look at it from this standpoint here. Then what's going to happen if most people don't even use their PCs all that much, and they like the Steam Machine instead? Uh-oh. Then you got people that have spent hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on PCs, and they're playing on a more or a less complicated system, but yet it's more fun to them than their PCs are. Now tell me if that ain't crazy. Because to me that's crazy. Now, would it be nice to have a system where you can play your PC games and your Xbox games and stuff? Yeah, it would be nice for that. But the thing of it is, not for the price tag. Not for the price tag of $1,200 or $1,500 some dollars. Because when you think about that, most people have spent more money than that to build a PC. A PC is more expensive than what they're wanting to charge for the Helix. And that's basically what I've heard. The PS6 has already been projected to be $800 upon release. And that's the thing. $800 upon release. Who's going to have that $800 right away? That's the thing. Not everybody's going to have that $800. With the rising fuel prices, food prices going up. I mean, life is already rough enough. Life is already tough enough when it slaps you across the face, wakes you up. Next thing you know, you're waking up to reality and you already see what your cost is. Who's going to want to pay for an $800 PlayStation? Or who's going to want to pay for a $1,200 Helix, Xbox Helix? Yeah, it's nice. It's nice underneath. It's nice underneath all that plastic, the awesome graphics, the chips, the hardware. Like everything right there is under. It's all nice underneath and stuff. It's great for what you're offering. But for the price tag, the only ones that'll buy it, like I said, are the ones that can afford it and the ones that have saved. But it's a lot harder. It's a lot harder now to save than it used to be. When I was younger and you used to save, it was easier to put change into a change jar and save it up back in the 90s than it was, or than it is to try and save up and put, don't mind me, Chad, I had an early morning today. I was up since 6. But, yeah, I mean, who's going to want to do that of paying for a system, for that price? Yeah, nowadays you're lucky if you can save up plenty in the change jar anymore. Yeah, it's insane out there. I mean, the nice part is, yeah, you're getting good graphics, you're getting good detail, but you're charging such a hefty price tag. So, but despite everything right now, the chaos, the craziness, it doesn't stop me from continuing to do this channel for all of you. But remember, it's because of all of you that I'm here right now continuing to do this. You guys have meant the world to me. That for you guys continuing to tune in, to watch, to view this, the support means a lot. It means a lot because it motivates me every day. It continues to help me to keep going. You guys are my reason for keeping this channel going. and discussing what I love, what I think about this industry, sharing how passionate I am about this industry. And I think we got a lot of awesome games coming up with awesome stories. We might not know what the future holds, but we do know one thing, that we're going on one heck of a ride. And it's going to be a nice ride at that. Because for once we have awesome games to enjoy, to have fun with. And when you think about it, a lot of the requests and a lot of things that the feedback that we have given, a portion of that feedback has been answered from Matt Booty and his team. Because exclusives being back, Game Pass getting lowered. If you notice that, everyone, that is the result of people going and giving feedback to them at Xbox. So it was because of what we had said in that feedback that they noticed what we wanted. And they honored that. They respected that. So we need to show them how grateful we are, at least for that. You know, we might not have gotten everything that we requested, but at least we got a portion of it. But I want you to also consider leaving with a few words of wisdom here. Understand something. Life can be enjoyable. Life can really truly be amazing, can surprise you. Sometimes waves can toss you around. Sometimes you can have a sea of emotions and not even know where they're coming from. But make sure you stand your ground. Remember, because you know who you are. Always remember you have the heart of a warrior. And if you guys ever need to talk, I'm here. I've been through a lot. And I'm happy to say that there's this guy that runs a show called The Mag Show. And I don't really know this guy from, I don't know how to phrase this in a good way, but he's like a brother from another mother. And when I started all this, and I ended up meeting him by simply just watching his channel. And the thing is, I got to talking with him because I wanted to start growing bigger. Now, I didn't want to grow bigger and all that to be this like big YouTuber and stuff like that. No. I wanted to do this because of how passionate I am for this hobby. And when I heard a lot about all these ups and downs in the industry, and I heard about the way that this industry was under siege, and they were worried about which direction that the industry was taking, how bad things were getting. I'm like, it was time for me, almost a 42-year gaming vet, to also stand alongside some of the greats and start having my voice heard of being a top gamer. And that's what made me want to do this. I also wanted to do this as a living because I can't work a regular job. I can't do a 9 to 5 because I can't stand on my feet for long periods of time anymore because my back is completely damaged. But I will say this guy Mag, who runs his own show, the Mag Show, I've had numerous discussions with him on X, and there's been a lot of things that he's talked with me about, helping me out, giving me tips, hints, and things I can do to make things better. And Mag, trust me, you have made a lot of a difference for me. You have been a true motivator for me as well. You've helped me out a lot, dude, more than I could ever ask. You know, me and you might not know each other as much as you've known Colt. You know, you might not know me like you've known like all of your other friends and stuff. And, you know, just this time that I've gotten to know you just by conversations, it's like we've been talking all along. And dude, the way that you've helped me is graciously appreciated. Because every time I've been down, you managed to put a smile right back on my face, Mac. You managed to help me out, and you've been able to help me not to want to give up. No matter how hard things have felt, and believe me, even when I felt like I had a rock on my chest, you were there and helped me to get that rock lifted off my chest. So thanks, brother, for what you've done. But anyway, always realize there is nothing too small and nothing too large that's impossible in this life for any of us to ever achieve. As long as you believe in yourself, you can succeed at anything. Because I would not be saying this if I wasn't sitting here today doing this now professionally. After all my years of everything else, and now I'm sitting here doing this professionally. I'd like to thank Patreon for noticing. Sorry I haven't responded back to Patreon. I really don't have sponsored stuff, or I really don't have things to really do to sell, so that's why I haven't responded back to you, Patreon. But anyway, I'm going to be getting ready to wrap up the show unless everybody or anybody has any questions or anything they want to ask me, or unless you guys just want to have a little Q&A here. But I'm probably going to be getting ready to wrap up the show here, because I'll have other things I got to get around to, and all that. So I just wanted to get on here and at least get a live show in for all of you and basically talk about um, the reset that Asha Sharma is going to be doing. And it's nothing to be alarmed about. Um, so don't get all like flustered. It's nothing that's going to be big and scary. So, but take care of y'all and enjoy your summer. And until the next time, I will try to get some shorts out as well on the channel so you can pay attention to those. But I will catch up with you guys again next Thursday, same time, 8 o'clock. So I'm going to get off of here, but take care and enjoy your summer. And like I always say, Top Gamer